The most important resource that we need to make sure that entrepreneurs have is the access to connections and networks.
Hello, and welcome to Small Biz Catalyst. I am your host, Ayisat Abilogun. Join me as we explore ways that we as small business owners can pay ourselves a growing six-figure salary without pulling out our hair. Whether you're a small business owner or an economic development professional, this show is for you. Let's explore together.
Well, everyone, this is a very special episode. We again have on this show Mo Collins, and I'm going to share a little bit about Mo, and then I'll let you know what, Mo, maybe you should just tell us about yourself. Mo is an industry giant. That's my code for how do I put 2 pages of bio into 2 sentences or one. Industry giant in economic development, and she's currently the director of entrepreneurship with an organization known as IEDC. That's the International Economic Development Council. Prior to that, Mo is an entrepreneur, so she knows what she's talking about. Mo is a consultant for ESOs, and ESO just basically mean entrepreneurial support organizations and economic development organizations. Mo, please tell us a little bit about yourself, because I would just go on and on.
Well, I've been in this space as I shared with you previously. Most of my career, I'm gifted to be at the International Economic Development Council currently. And my job here is so unique and so special in that I've been asked to move the needle on entrepreneurship in the economic development field. And that means culturally, economically, professionally, educationally. And so we have a lot of work to do in our organization, but we have a terrific opportunity to influence the field. So I've been there about, a little over a year now. So our work is still getting started and ramping up. I was a consultant for a long number of years, 10 years, in fact. And prior to that, and in consulting, I worked on ecosystem assessments and surveys of small business owners, statewide, regional, white papers and reports on emerging kinds of innovations in the tech field. And I did a lot of consulting with women. That's my heart passion in this space is working with women and helping empower them, utilizing technology innovation to start companies and to realize their dreams. So that's been kind of my guiding light throughout all of my career. I come from a family of 6 girls, no boys. My dad wanted a boy. He finally gave up after 6 girls. I was the middle child, and therefore I was deemed the boy. My dad owned a shoe store in downtown Iowa City, Iowa. So I was in the upper Midwest, a university town. And I was the kid that cleaned out the storefront, that stocked the shelves, that did all the stuff at the store. And when I was 18, I went to my father and I said, "Okay, here I am. I'm all ready. I graduated from high school. I'm going to follow in your footsteps." His name was Corky, and I said, "Corky, here I come." And he said, well, no, you really can't be a part of the business with me." And I was devastated, and it was because I was a girl. And it was a men's shoe store. And he said, "It just won't work. It just won't work." And I was like horrified and sad. But about 6 months later, he gave me $2,500, which was the most money I'd ever seen in my life. And I opened my own brick and mortar store in a little town north of Iowa City. A long career for me.
Okay, did you sell men's shoes?
No, I did not. I found it just, but even I paid my way through college by going to auctions and buying like furniture and then stripping it and refinishing it. And so the store that I opened was a play on that. It was an antique shop, and it was before all the antique malls and all that kind of thing. I rented an 1890s brick Italianate mansion, filled it. I bought estates and I filled it with the things from the estates, the junk I took to auction, and beautiful furniture and glassware. It was an education. It was an experience. 7 years later, I sold it to a key employee. It's still in operation today.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, and so I love to go back in and, the third owner and like, what do you need? And so we laugh a lot about where we've been. But I went to the University of Northern Iowa in 1997. And my job was, my department had said to me, "Mo, move the needle on entrepreneurship in our state. Don't care how you do it, but 2 rules. One is you're on soft money, which means I had to raise all of my own money. And his second rule was don't embarrass me." Well, you know that I was really good at one of those 2 things, and it happened to be raising money. I raised a lot of money over the course of my tenure there. And we built a lot of great programs. And I embarrassed him regularly. And he sort of fired me multiple times, but I was there 17 years. And it was a terrific, and I am so grateful for the opportunity now. As I said earlier, I'm closer to the end of my career than the beginning. And so the last couple years that I'm in this space, I want to do everything I can to pave the way for other people to do the same kind of entrepreneurial activity, to be able to build communities around entrepreneurs and to make the kind of places that we all want to live and that we all want to participate in. And so we have an opportunity to do that at IEDC, and I'm just grateful and proud to be a part of it.
And prior to meeting you in person at the IEDC conference, I wanted to meet you because of the work you were doing in entrepreneurship. And so I was like, I gotta meet this lady. I gotta meet this lady. And then we got a chance to sit, and you are all about innovation and entrepreneurship. And I want to share one thing real quick. For those of you listening, at the end of this episode, I want us to, I hope that you would learn some of the entrepreneurial tools that are available and maybe even learn from an OG. And that does not mean old grandmother. It means original. Lo and I were talking about it earlier about the entrepreneurship communities and what innovation is going on in the entrepreneurship world. The purpose of this episode is really to learn the tools that support innovation and entrepreneurship in order to support our businesses as entrepreneurs. So, Mo, I've got a couple questions for you. What resources do you think are underutilized by entrepreneurial support organizations or even entrepreneurs themselves?
We know that entrepreneurs need a wide array of resources throughout their business life cycle, correct? And if you
Absolutely.
boil it all down, I like to say it comes down to technical assistance capital, networks, public policy, talent, right? There's a kind of a small list of things. But among those,
Yeah.
probably the most important resource that we need to make sure that entrepreneurs have is the access to connections and networks. When it comes down to it, if we don't have a community that supports and holds up entrepreneurs and gives them access to each other, peer learning, gives them access to the capital, technical assistance, and other things that they need. If we don't create a community that is a place we want to live and grow and be a part of, then that one resource alone can drive or lose the vitality of a single community, whether it's a rural town of 5,000 or an urban city of 500,000. And over the course of the last 20 years, we have spent so much time and effort building out models to be able to support entrepreneurs. And across the board, Andy Stoll and others who are really thought leaders in this space will say it's really about connections. It's about how do we connect as deeply and intimately with one another as we can to help start, grow, and experience the kinds of entrepreneurial activity that's possible in a community. So I say networks, connections.
So it's not a cliche that your network really truly is your net worth or at least affects it.
I've heard that. Yes, I love that line.
And so I guess whether you're an entrepreneur or even an organization, your network is really important.
It is.
Hey there, if you're just joining us, this is Small Biz Catalyst. We would like to invite you into Tag a Business Team. Here's what you need to do. Nominate a small business of your choice, tag them on our website at smallbizcatalyst.org. That's small, BIZCATALYST.org. Tell us your name, give us your email address because that's how we'll be able to tell you if you're a winner or not. And then give us a website to a business of your choice. It could be your business or somebody else's. Once you've tagged a business, you'll be entered for a $25 drawing to a local business of your choice. We'll announce winners every month. And now, back to the show.
Okay, so my next question for you is what's the impact of second stage AI on business growth and success? And I know you're doing a lot in this.
I'm not going to answer this the way you're thinking because I'm not sure what you mean by second stage AI. But let me just say this.
I saw one of your speeches that you had given about second stage AI. That's where that came from.
Okay.
And it was you were given an illustration about how AI has changed from in the past, when you think of Stage AI, you're thinking about, you used an example about Uber and ChatGPT and I don't tell the story very well, but you know what? You can change the question to what you feel will be most beneficial to our audience. How about that?
All right, let me say this. Let me say this. Most economists agree that we have had two phases of technology innovation since
Mm,
the advent of the internet. The
yeah.
first phase was tied to how we communicate, we transact, we consume, and we travel. And that gave us those low hanging fruit innovations like Uber and Facebook and Etsy and eBay. And I call them low hanging fruit because it was so obvious that those industries could be disrupted by the internet and by technology innovation. And yet, even though it was obvious, it was disruptive. Would you agree? It
Yeah,
had seemed,
absolutely.
oh my gosh, was totally disrupted. And as technology innovation rolled through this first wave, every industry was touched. Would you agree?
Yeah, my mom tried to get a taxi the other day because she didn't believe in Uber because we have to set up our Uber. And
Yeah.
because I called it, I finally found a taxi company. I called them and it was so much more expensive. Could you just set up my Uber? I'm like, yes, mom. On demand.
And I think that's the key to economic disruption is that we have innovators, entrepreneurs who see that opportunity, they exploit it. And Uber is nothing more than a mobile app that connects someone that needs a ride with someone who has a vehicle and can ferry them for a fee. That's it.
Yes.
And so easy. So, here's the thing. So that first wave of technology innovation was profound. It was like our first experience with it for
Yeah.
all of us that are alive today. But now there's a second wave of
Mm.
technology innovation that's rolling out. And this wave has fundamentally profound implications for every part of the globe. And it's tied to about nine key areas. It's artificial intelligence,
Mhm.
it's virtual reality, it's autonomous vehicles, it's the Internet of Things. You get the idea, right? And
Yeah.
what makes this wave of technology innovation so profoundly important is that any one of these, like take AI for example, has the potential to disrupt the global economy more than all of the industries associated with the first wave of technology innovation. And it's already happening. ChatGPT was rolled out November 30th of 2023. And already AI is transforming where our jobs are coming from, how we work.
Yeah.
And Forbes put out a really interesting story earlier this year. I think it was in June. And they predicted that globally, guys, that 40% of all jobs will be disrupted by 2030. And they said in the United States, that's likely to be closer to 60% because we are so much
Yeah.
more closely tied to the knowledge economy.
Yeah.
And those until it happens, we don't pay too much attention.
That's
But
true.
this is happening quickly. It's fundamentally changing. And I think as the next few years roll out between AI, the politics of what we're going through with new leadership now, with the global economy, with climate change, all of these disruptions are going to change the American way of life in ways that are scary, but also opportunistic for all of us that want to be participatory in the economy on our own terms and to define success in our own way. And so, from an entrepreneurial perspective, I'm kind of excited.
I know you are. And it's hard to believe that ChatGPT was just rolled out a year ago when you say November 2023. We're in November 2024.
It was maybe it was 22. It was November 30, I think 23. Oh, it was 2 years ago. I'm sorry. It was
Okay.
November 2022.
Because I just
November.
remember it was it took a while for people to catch on and then everybody caught on at the same time and you couldn't hear anything in the news that wasn't ChatGPT or a podcast episode that wasn't ChatGPT.
And now there's Claude and Bard and there's all kinds of AI that is rolling out and it's embedded in Microsoft, it's embedded in a lot of our software and those that is it's ramping up. And so we're
Wow.
going to see a lot more of this kind of activity applied into even the most mundane of activities. If I'm doing a blog post, I can have ChatGPT write it for me.
Yeah.
and then just go in and edit it to make it, more interesting to me. The money that's saved, the time that's saved, the energy that is saved is astronomical, and its impact downstream is also astronomical.
It is. And I had to write a letter recently and I had written it and then it was an email. And then I went to ChatGPT and said, could you make this nicer? And I got complimented on it, but it helps diffuse a situation. And, everybody was on board. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. But Mo, it's been such an honor to have you on here. I want to say one thing. If you're an entrepreneur and you don't feel like you're innovating, you need to start thinking about how you can use AI not only to innovate, but to keep your business resilient, to kind of figure out how your business can stay past 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years by incorporating AI into it. And that might be as simple as, writing letters or contracts or simple things. Of course, always make it original, make it your own, or as simple as, using it for research and making sure that you're on top of your industry or you're connected to whatever, like Mo said, connected to that network that would support you. Of course, we always end with a bonus question. And you know the question, but I'm going to ask it. What advice do you have for today's entrepreneur?
Of today's entrepreneur?
Yes, or entrepreneur support organization.
That's okay.
Whichever one.
What advice do I have for today's entrepreneur? I believe that it's never been easier or a better time to be engaged in self-employment. I can tell you that if I were choosing between a corporate job and entrepreneurial activity, I would choose first entrepreneurial activity every time. And I say that because entrepreneurship provides wealth. It provides a job on your own terms. It gives us the most flexibility to live our life, to hold our values as high as we choose. It gives us an opportunity to contribute to our community in ways that we cannot do when we work for someone else. And all of those things collectively, I think, are part and parcel of how we build communities going forward. And so my advice to an entrepreneur, to anyone actually, is it's likely that at some time during your life, you will be self-employed, either as what we call a 1099er, which is a
Yeah.
subcontractor. Maybe you'll be a remote worker, in which case it's almost flirting with entrepreneurship. You still be to employee, but you're remote. Then you can live wherever you want to live and still do your good work. But I think we all have an opportunity at different times in our life to be self-employed. And I think we're missing out on a rich and lovely life experience if we don't choose to take that mantle up. And so I would say my advice would be try it, do it, engage with other people that are doing it and experience all the beauty there is in being your own boss and being an entrepreneur. There's never been a better time. We have never in American history had an opportunity and a window that is so full of choices, of industries, of ideas and peers that are interested in pursuing this kind of work. And so for me, I wish I were 20. I wish I could go do this all over again because you would find me very squarely in the middle of an ecosystem in any community in the United States.
But you've made such an impact on the organization that it is so hard to ignore your work and what you're doing and just how many lives you're changing, even in your role by supporting so many organizations. Thank you so much, Mo, for being here. It's just been a delight to have you on here.
Thank you for having me. And I just want to say that I am just so proud of you for doing this podcast.
Thank
This
you.
is needed. We need fresh voices. We need perspectives. We need joy. And I think you bring all of those things to this podcast. This is the most fun I've had on a podcast.
Hey there, if you're just joining us, this is Small Biz Catalyst. We would like to invite you into our Tag a Business team. Here's what you need to do. Nominate a small business of your choice, tag them on our website at smallbizcatalyst.org. That's small, BIZCATALYST.org. Tell us your name. Give us your email address because that's how we'll be able to tell you if you're a winner or not. And then give us a website to a business of your choice. It could be your business or somebody else's. Once you've tagged a business, you'll be entered for a $25 drawing to a local business of your choice. We'll announce winners every month. And now, back to the show.